With a dumbbell incline press, there are some similarities to other versions of a dumbbell press movement, but there's also some obvious differences. The main obvious difference being that the bench is at about a 45-degree angle here. How much of an incline and how little of an incline depends a little bit on the desired result that you want. There is an old school theory that if you lower the bench down so it's closer to a flat position, you're going to be training your upper chest muscles. If you go to 45 degrees, you're going to be training shoulders. If you go one click further up, it's going to be more shoulders, and there's this spectrum of the steeper you go, the more shoulder you use, and the flatter you go, the more chest you use. And that is the case for some people, but the data is very skeptical, and it actually tends to be a little bit more person to person different. So my personal suggestion would be, if you've never done this before, start at a 45-degree angle and do it for an entire training cycle. Then do another entire training cycle with it one click lower, and then do another entire training cycle with it one click higher than 45 degrees. And then from that point, you will have a bit of an understanding as to which is most comfortable for you. One of the components within hypertrophy or building muscle is the mechanical tension. So if you can increase the amount of load that you're lifting, you are going to be putting more pressure onto the muscular tissue. And then as a result of that, it is going to be having a slightly greater effect of increasing your muscle mass than a movement, for example, that you can't really load very much. So it is to a degree personal preference. So for the example here, if you're unsure, just stick it at 45 degrees. But the main things that are similar between this and a normal dumbbell bench press is we're trying to maintain our knuckles kind of above our elbows basically throughout the entire range of motion. So you'll see here at the top, the dumbbells are close together, the knuckles are basically above the elbow. Begin to lower the weight down, the knuckles stay basically above the elbow all the way to the bottom. The dumbbells have spread out as a result of the fact that my elbows are going out like this, and then as I press back up, my knuckles stay above my elbow. Specific direction of where your elbows go is, again, another personal preference thing. Some people will like their elbows to come closer to their side than I'm demonstrating here. Other people will like to be in this position where their elbows are kind of out to the side from their shoulders. Personally, this just feels more comfortable for me. So you have to play around with the movement and see what works best for you. But remember that typically, the movement that is going to allow you to increase the most strength and the movement that is going to allow you to increase the most muscle mass is going to be the one that you feel most comfortable doing and the one that you can create the most stability doing. So if you're trying to replicate this exact position here, but it feels horrendous and your elbows going closer to your side feels better, then the one closer to your side is the one for you. You also use your legs a little bit to push back into the pad, which also just creates a little bit of extra stability for your spinal stabilizing muscles.